In today's video, I survived 100 days of Minecraft Hardcore. Now, if you don't know what Minecraft Hardcore is, let me explain. Minecraft Hardcore is basically Minecraft survival, except you only have one life, and the difficulty is set to hard mode. If I die once, I can't respawn, and everything I've created will be gone. It took so long to create this video, so it would mean a lot to me if you could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as I am starting to upload more Minecraft videos on the channel. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Day 1, I loaded into my Minecraft world and I turned around and saw a village. I then spotted a tree, so I decided to go mine it so I could make my first ever pickaxe. Then I decided to go ahead and explore the village more and gather a bunch of food and resources. I also found a cave and decided to mine some stone. And then I battled a creeper. After a long day, it was finally the end of day 1 and I had survived my first day of Minecraft Hardcore. Day 2 started off with me battling some zombies. And then I spent the rest of the day getting more food, and I mined some trees as well so I could build my first ever house. Day 3, I mined a bunch of dirt and then I started placing it so I could expand the land and build my first ever house. And that's really all that happened on day 3. Day 4, I started to build my house. I didn't want it to be too crazy, so I just wanted to go ahead and build something pretty simple at first. Days 5 through 7 was basically just me continuing to build my house. It took quite a while to make, and I made a bunch of mistakes on it, so I just kept building it throughout these days. And finally, my first ever house was complete. It was pretty simple, but I liked it for now, and I could easily expand on it later. Day 8, I spent mining some iron so I could go ahead and make a full set of iron armor, which wasn't that hard considering there was a bunch of caves outside by the village. Day 9, I finally had enough iron to make a full set of iron armor. I then built a balcony on the second floor of my house, and on days 10 through 12, I ended up spending building the second floor of my house. Days 13 through 15, I ended up building a roof for my house, and I had to mine a bunch of cobblestone in order to make stone bricks, and this took forever. And finally, on day 16, my house was finally complete, and it was looking great. I then spent the rest of day 16 expanding the land next to my house so I could go ahead and make a farm for some animals. Day 17, I ended up using my first fences for a chicken coop, and later on I would go ahead and gather more animals. I ended up building my next area for some pigs, and then I went ahead and cleared out some more space so I could add some more fences later on. On day 18, I finally finished clearing out some space, and then I led some pigs to their new home, and I was even able to get some cows as well. On day 19, I wanted to go ahead and get some diamonds, but before I went to get some diamonds, I decided I wanted to go ahead and build a mining room. And I got some more stone so I could go ahead and make some chiseled stone bricks, which I thought would look nice along the way going down to the mining room. Day 20, I found a villager and some llamas, but he didn't have any good trades, so I decided to kill him and the llamas so I could go ahead and steal his leads. Then the rest of the day, I spent mining underground so I could go ahead and finish building my mining room. Day 21, I continued mining to create more space for the mining room, and I also found some coal along the way of doing this. I then mined out the entire ground and ended up replacing it all with cobblestone. And then on days 22 and 23, I started working on the walls for the mining room. And once I finished that, I started mining the dirt above me so I could go ahead and make the ceiling. And finally, on day 24, my mining room was complete. I even had an area to start mining in as well. On days 25 and 26, it was time to start mining for diamonds, and I ended up finding a ravine. And I even ended up finding some iron right next to it. Then I started to explore the ravine, and there were a lot of mobs in it. I ended up finding some coal, a lot of redstone, more iron, and finally some lapis. And finally, after a bunch of mining, on day 27 I finally found some diamonds. And throughout days 27 through 31 I spent diamond hunting so I could go ahead and make full diamond gear. And finally, on day 31, I ended up coming back with 36 diamonds, which was probably the most diamonds I've ever found in Minecraft to begin with. After I celebrated, I ended up using the diamonds to make full diamond gear. Now that I had full diamond gear, I decided to go ahead and look for a lava pool so I could go ahead and build another portal. Day 32, I spotted some wolves in a taiga biome, and luckily I had some bones on me to tame them. I kept traveling more with my new dogs, and finally I spotted a lava pool. I then used the water to turn the lava into obsidian so I could build my nether portal. Day 33, I finally got back to my house and my dogs were safe. Then I used some of the materials I got along the way to build my dogs a dog house, which on day 34 it was finally complete. I then took my dogs to their new house and they seemed to love it. Day 35 I spent mining a bunch of wood so I could go ahead and make an enchantment room. I then spent that night fighting some mobs so I could go ahead and get some XP. I wanted to make sure I had some good enchants before I went to the nether. Days 36 through 40 I started to build the mining room. I probably could have gotten it done quicker, but it took a long time to get some materials to make some concrete. And after a long time of working, it was finally starting to look really good. The only issue was I completely forgot about the bookcases. So I stole some bookshelves from the village, and after crafting some more bookshelves, my enchantment room was finally complete. And me not knowing how enchantments work, I ended up wasting the next 3 days creating a slime room, and on days 45 through 50, I ended up spending it creating this stupid cactus farm that I totally didn't even need to create, considering I had plenty of XP to go ahead and enchant my armor with. And it only gets worse from there because on days 50 through 55, I wasted by just grinding this XP machine, which sure, I got a lot of XP from, but it just was not worth doing whatsoever. Day 56, I spent the entire day enchanting my armor, my tools, and a bunch of books as well, and I still didn't understand how the enchantments worked, so I didn't even pick the level 30 enchants. Days 57 and 58, I spent clearing out some areas so I could go ahead and build another portal. After that, days 58 through 60, I ended up spending creating my nether portal. I didn't want it to be some normal nether portal, I wanted it to have a pretty cool design. And finally, on day 60, the nether portal was complete. Days 61 and 62, I was finally prepared to go to the nether. And I spent that time by mining some quartz and some glowstone. And while I was exploring, I spotted a nether fortress right next to my portal, so this was pretty good luck for me. And at the end of day 62, I went back to my house so I could go ahead and gather some more materials to build kind of a home base in the nether. Days 63 through 65, I basically built the same nether portal design as I did from before, except this time it was made out of quartz. And finally, it was complete, and it was looking pretty good. Day 66, I spent placing the floor with cobblestone to make it look a little bit nicer, and I also built some cobblestone walls just for some protection. Day 67, it was finally time to go to the nether fortress, and this was probably the most intense thing I faced throughout this entire video. So I started bridging towards it, and I finally made it in. Which leads me to days 68 through 71, which I basically spent in the nether fortress looting and fighting a bunch of wither skeletons and blazes. And I came so close to dying, and it's a really good thing I enchanted my armor. I eventually found some blaze spawners, and I decided to kill a bunch of blaze so I could go ahead and get their blaze rods. Once I thought I had enough blaze rods, I got out of there. I didn't want to stay and look for more chests because I came way too close to dying so many times. Days 71 through 73, I spent mining a bunch of gold so I could go ahead and trade with the pigmen. Which, after 2 to 3 stacks of gold, I finally had enough ender pearls to go ahead and go to the end. And I ended up spending the rest of day 73 repairing my armor with the leftover diamonds I had. It didn't repair it that much, but it should have been enough for the fight against the ender dragon. And I also ended up making some strength potions as well to make the fight a little bit easier. By the end of day 73, I was finally ready to fight the ender dragon. Day 74, I spent the entire day looking for the stronghold. And on day 75, I finally found the stronghold. As I was about to complete the end portal, I got into a fight with some silverfish but ended up killing them all. And finally, I created the end portal. I then made sure I was prepared to enter the end, and I finally went in. And then, the battle began. I started off by taking out all the end crystals first, and then I would go straight for the dragon. Once all the end crystals were out, it was finally time to go head on with the dragon. He ended up shooting me up into the air, but luckily I water bucket clutched. I ended up getting a quarter of the ender dragon's health down, but my game ended up crashing after that. So when I logged back in, an enderman ended up attacking me and the ender dragon's health was full, so I basically had to start all over. I ended up getting a bunch of good hits on it. And I even tried to use the bed technique to kill it, but I don't think I did it very well. And even at one point, I went flying into the air. I could have lost everything I've worked for, but luckily, I clutched. And finally, after battling the dragon for some more time, I finally defeated him. And I think this was the first time I ever beat Minecraft legitimately. And then I collected my XP and I couldn't believe how much I was getting. After that, I had one thing left to do, which was to collect the Ender Dragon egg. Then it was time to go home. Day 79, I spent the entire day traveling back to my house. And by the end of the day, I finally made it back. Day 80, I spent the day making a platform to put my dragon egg on. And once I finished it, it looked awesome and I celebrated the rest of the day. Days 81 through 84, I realized my armor was about to break, so I went diamond hunting to go ahead and repair my armor. After that, I only found 11 diamonds, but it was enough to pretty much fully repair my armor. Days 85 and 86, I forgot to record, but basically I got a bunch of wood so I could go ahead and build a barn, which is basically what I did between days 87 and 93, and it took longer to build the barn than it took to build my house, so that just shows how much time I put into this. And right when I was about to finish, a creeper ended up blowing up right next to my house, so I had even more work to do. Finally, after fixing my house and finishing the barn, everything was complete. And I was really happy with how everything turned out. Then I decided to decorate the inside of the barn. Days 94 through 97, I spent gathering a bunch of flowers and killing a bunch of creepers so I could go ahead and make some fireworks for a celebration. Day 98, I got a bunch of resources so I could go ahead and make a lot of cakes for the celebration. Day 99, there wasn't much more to do, so I decided to take the day off by fishing a little bit, and by the end of the day, I caught a lot of fish, and then I decided to watch the sunset rest, as I knew this was the last sunset of this entire video. Day 100, it was finally the last day, so I decided to gather my dogs for the celebration we were about to have. It took them a while to get them to sit down, but finally we were all ready to eat some cake. Once we finished eating cake, I forgot to set up the auto firework dispenser correctly, so I had to go ahead and fix that. Once I set it up correctly, it was time to launch the fireworks, and they looked great. And finally, I had survived 100 days of Minecraft hardcore survival. This video took an insane amount of time to make, so if you guys could drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, as well as sharing the video would help a lot. And also, if you'd like to see a part 2 to this video, let's aim for 200 likes for 200 days of Minecraft hardcore. And let me know if you'd like to see more Minecraft videos on the channel. And I'm pretty proud of what I accomplished within the 100 days of Minecraft hardcore. Let me know what you think of this world I've created in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one later.